All right, hi everyone. So yes, Davida, I'm from citizen of the Navajo Nation, and so coming here from Phoenix, Arizona, had a long travel, but I'm so happy to be here. This has been like a breath of fresh air, so thank you for welcoming here. I definitely want to come back to Canada. I'm going to escape the US and come join you guys. So yeah, I work in digital equity inclusion. So if you don't know what that means, I'm going to tell you. I also work for 2 companies. So this is the agenda, but it might not be relevant. So I work for this company called Amarin Critical Infrastructure. So it's more of a consulting group. We provide broadband deployment to anywhere in the U.S. We're also in insurance as well. We have a contract with the National Digital Inclusion Alliance. So their whole mission and vision is to advance digital equity and support communities, and they do this through their affiliate group. So we have over 2,000 affiliates. 47 of those are tribal entities, which is really important to me in terms of like how we go into our work with tribal groups because of the sovereignty status. So we're not a state, we're not a town, we're a tribe that we're helping out. So I'm the only Native person on staff, and technically I'm not on staff, I'm with Amarin. But they're doing their best to, be more inclusive in terms of like how we diversify our work within various groups, and that includes tribes. So we are gonna play a game, and yes. We're gonna split the room up into like 3 sections, I think. So we're gonna do maybe over here. Bill is in the middle, right over here. Well, actually, you 3 or 4, and then the group in the back. Yes, exactly. So we're gonna play categories, which I don't even know if this is how you play categories, but we're just calling it that.
That's what you're calling it?
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
So, and you can talk with a bunch of your group. I'm gonna give you like a minute just to kind of brainstorm, but I want you to think about these 2 questions. So, what do people in your community use the internet for? And think about your community specifically, okay? And what would people who aren't connected now use the internet for? So we come to some of the communities who don't have internet, and they're like, well, we don't use the internet, but what would they use it for, right? Okay, so think about how everybody in your family uses it, everyday interactions and things like that. And so, yeah, so take a couple minutes, talk amongst yourselves, maybe even say where you're from if you guys don't know. I think we all know each other by this point, but yeah. So we'll give you like a minute just to talk. Okay, so, all right, so we have team number 1 over here, and then team number 2, which is the mighty 3, and then team number 3, yeah, exactly. So we're gonna start each out, and I want you to just give me one answer from this question, okay? And we'll start with number 3 first. So give me an answer. School, no, that's, okay, so let me start you there. That's too broad, okay? I want you to be as specific as possible. If you can name apps, if you can name like how you use it, things like that. If you just say, I use it for money, what does that even mean? So that's a lot of different things you can go.
Posting social media content for their business.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, the team number 3 and stuff doesn't matter. So, sorry, she's just gonna tell us, because we can't be, the other thing too, I'm a terrible game master. No repeats, okay? So if you repeat, then Spencer's gonna ding you, okay? All right, so great. That was a lot.
It's marketing for on social media.
Thank you for simplifying that. All right, group number 2.
Work communication.
No, that's too broad too.
Okay. Online gambling.
So what apps do you use for that?
Roberta?
Gambling apps.
Online poker. FanDuel.
I don't know. The BC gambling, does BC have a provincial gambling site like Alberta does? Alberta has.
You can use Alberta.
I mean, you can use
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Alberta, yeah.
Slot
Alberta
Machine 7?
Gamble. Play Alberta.
Okay,
Play
yeah.
Alberta, it's called. Yeah.
Play Alberta. Okay.
Yeah.
What about this group?
Facebook.
That's okay.
Facebook. Okay. So how do you use?
Like there's a million things. So you want like one or
Yeah.
like selling pizza to the community on Facebook.
Okay.
My community uses Facebook for everything. So
Okay,
it's
cool.
like- no,
Yeah.
it's not marketplace. It's literally just a post. I have pizza. This many dollars a slice. It's this. Come get it.
Come by my house. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Group number 3.
Another thing?
My medic watch.
Your medic watch?
Yeah, it's an app.
Okay.
for Epilepsy.
Okay. What does it track?
When I seize, it alerts caregivers.
Nice.
Keeps me alive.
That's a good one. All right.
That's a really good one.
Group number 2.
Like Slack for work communication.
Yeah. So people don't know what Slack is. It's like instant messaging.
Instant messaging for work.
Yep.
Digital
Exactly.
Online work environment.
Cool. Number 1.
Emails for work, government.
Yeah. Perfect. Yep.
Online content for high school classes in remote communities.
Okay. Yeah. That's great. Number 2.
Facebook for.
Oh, we already said Facebook.
So do I get penalized there? I'm sorry.
Pick another thing. We're easing you in here.
Maps.
Maps.
Yeah.
That's too broad. What does that mean?
But I use Apple Maps and Google
Okay.
Maps
Directions.
Yeah.
for directions.
Thank you.
and
Okay.
travel.
Yes. So somebody else in the group.
I said directions.
Directions, but that's similar to his. How is that different than?
You still
You still-
That's right.
Yes.
So people use the internet out in the watershed to do fish sampling.
Perfect. Thank you. Thanks, Cherish. Getting back to like how our community uses it, right? Yep. All right. So Pokemon Go. Yes. That's all I could think about with geocaching. I was like, this is basically Pokemon Go. Yeah. Number 2. Yeah, somebody from somebody else. So we got 2 other team members here.
Like we're giving him.
Online dating.
Yes, exactly. Did anyone find their significant other online? No?
Surprisingly, not in this group.
Yeah.
Spencer.
There are
We met
people in the
online.
community who have.
Oh, you met online. See, Spencer, yeah. It works ish. Okay. No, I'm sorry. It was successful in your. I'm sorry. I'm talking about the rest of us who probably tried it and it didn't work out. All right, another person. We're gonna go faster now after we go this one, so I'll let you guys just take your time.
Online banking.
Online banking. Okay, so what do you do with that? How do you use it?
Look at your transactions.
Track your spending. Yeah, absolutely. Great.
Avoid tracking.
All right, I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to respond now. Okay, so we're gonna go a little quicker. All right, so. Okay, Spotify for music. Streaming, yes. So group number 2.
Booking flights.
Okay, yes. Got to get around. It's pretty vast out here. 5 seconds, guys.
Right there. Oh.
5.
Uber.
Uber. Do you guys have Uber here? Could I have taken one? No, you can still use that. Yeah, absolutely. Uber. All right.
Finding-
Online purchases,
Online purchases. What do you mean by that?
like through Amazon.
Okay.
Buying Tools you might need.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good.
Online job applications.
Okay. Through what website?
Indeed or LinkedIn.
Thank you. All right.
Finding hunting grounds.
Really? What do you use? How do you use that? Which app do you
Like
use?
geocaching.
Hey, yeah, yeah, sure, why not? So that's a kind of a mix between the two, but yes.
Podcast, listening to podcasts.
Listening to podcasts, yep.
Listening to music.
Nope. We said Spotify down here.
Online entertainment like YouTube.
YouTube, thank you. I was like,
Has no one
get more
said
specific.
YouTube yet?
No one said YouTube. We've been mentioning YouTube this whole week.
Language
Doing
apps?
status cards.
Language apps. So what apps do you use?
Well,
Nice.
as many as I can.
have an app.
I need a name.
A name?
Yes.
The atypical language app.
It's called Chert.
Chert. Okay.
It's to help you install keyboards.
Okay, great. You guys,
Connecting our remote sensors to send data from our stream into our online dashboards.
oh, dang,
Very
getting real specific. Thank you. Alrighty. All right.
Checking the weather,
Checking the weather. Great. Yeah, which app do you use for that?
the weather network.
Yeah, no, that works. Yes, 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 yes.
First Voices language app?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But you already said language already, so that's a repeat.
He was just probably
Second round.
giving you the name of the app.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha.
Specific names for it.
Now you're
Too
trying to
late.
cancel us.
But that's actually, they have an app, but they also have a website, so it's a hosted website for language learning.
Nice.
For 36 languages.
Cool. All right. Next answer.
How about language learning from a website?
Radio.
Radio. How do you use radio online?
There's a receiver in the data center.
Okay. And why would you use radio?
Emergency broadcasts.
Okay, cool. Awesome. All right.
Credit cards.
How do you use it online? How's that different than Amazon and purchasing?
For the purpose of this. Well, Paywork.
Device.
What's up?
Paywork, it's different.
Payworks is different. Mm-hmm.
Square.
How about we elevate that and say accessing Coinbase to buy, sell, and trade?
Cryptocurrency.
Yes, that's great. All right, second group. Now we're gonna give you 3 seconds, okay? Which I probably should start over there.
Maybe photo apps?
Photo
Like-
apps?
Yeah, being able to edit and filter photos and then.
You need a name. What name do you, what apps do you use?
Yeah, Photoshop.
Photoshop, yes. Okay, 3.
Cards for point of sale purchases?
Okay. What do you think? Credit card sales for point per...
Yeah, because that's like.
POS.
Yeah,
POS?
Like Squarespace.
Okay.
Not Square.
Spencer's our judge, so because people have gotten mad at me when I'm the judge, so. So, 3.
Wi-Fi calling when you're outside of.
Wi-Fi calling, yes, I love that. All right, 3.
Zoom.
Zoom, thank you. Nobody's used it. Yeah, exactly. Text me app. Okay, great.
Looking up repair manuals for my vehicle when I gotta fix it.
Nice. Okay, nice. Love it. All right.
BandLab, digital instruments. I
Hey,
think that's different from Spotify.
yeah,
No,
no, that's
'cause
different.
you're making it.
Yeah, exactly.
Great. I've never heard that too. So
Status card renewal.
nice. Okay. Yes, we need to get
Accessing
government
your online,
services.
webcams for security.
Okay, great. Uh huh.
Passport,
Passport. What do you mean by that?
like filling it out online and submitting it online.
Yeah,
It's all online.
pretty similar to the band, like accessing.
status card.
Yeah, status card. But yes, different though.
Streaming content on Twitch.
Twitch. Okay. Yes. Are you on Twitch right now? Are we live streaming?
No.
All right.
I'll follow you.
What's up? Taxes. You can do your taxes online. Yes. Yes.
Forgot about that one.
Public library.
What do you mean by that?
Accessing books.
Yeah.
Renting books.
Okay. Great.
Plant apps.
Plant apps. So what's an app?
Like picture this.
Picture this?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Perfect.
Is that what you mean? Yeah. Hit,
I used to
Yeah.
log
You're not part of this.
Quiet, Judge.
You guys are out. No answer.
Chat GPT.
Hey, there you go. AI. Yep.
AI.
DocuSign. Yes, you have to sign these documents that you're submitting.
Online gaming?
Online. Well, you already said that. So you gotta. That's the first one. You guys are out. You guys win right here.
A DAO, digital audio workstation. Yeah.
All right, so we have a lot of stuff here. A lot of different things. I'm surprised no one said porn. Hey, just kidding. Usually when we do like online dating, it kind of goes into that. But anyway, yes, the point of this is that internet is used in a lot of different ways in our communities, right? Also, can you cut the edit that part out? Sorry, that was a joke. It wasn't for, yeah, thank you. But in a sense, so anyway, so this is the point of this. When people say like, when we started talking about digital equity inclusion, the number one thing people said was like, we always see students getting online and doing education and sitting in a parking lot to access McDonald's Wi-Fi or whatever, right? And it was so like tunnel vision, right? Because how we interact with the internet is so much more complex, and that we don't even know that we're using it or that we need to access it, that kind of thing. So we see it within our banking, our economy, our social interactions with folks, and very essential services, such as what we're talking about, the band office, accessing that, accessing our taxes, accessing various things that we need to use to survive. Health information. Access to knowledge is like a key part of why folks were getting misinformation during COVID, getting misinformation right now with politics, that kind of thing. So it's really important to kind of not only, of course, access these different things, but do it responsibly and do it in a way that's the best way I can say it, is to do it responsibly, but in a sense that it's not overpowering your life. And that can mean many things. I've heard Kyle say that, like, you know, the community accessed a internet, finally got it, but then the kids weren't playing outside anymore, you know, kind of thing. I'm gonna steal that story now. But yeah, so that's the point of this, is like, we can use it for our everyday lives, but at the same time, it's also important to realize and live life beyond the internet, kind of thing. But anyway, that's just one thing of putting it, but thanks for participating. So then, if you're wondering what digital equity inclusion is, so we're actually trying to solve an issue, which is the digital divide. So this is the gap between those who have affordable internet and skills to support, those who have affordable access, skills, and support to effectively engage online, and those who do not have access, okay? So there's a difference between those who do and those who do not have it. The goal is digital equity. So this is the condition in which all individuals have the technology capacity needed to participate in society, democracy, and the economy. We have a whole definitions page, and you guys can have these slides if you want, so you can delve into a little bit more of the jargon. And then so when we talk about equity, people kind of mix it in with equality. So just the distinction between the two. Equality means that everybody is given the same amount of knowledge, capacity, resources, but in terms of if everybody were to get the same amount of money, that kind of thing, they would have different access to the computer. Some would reach it, some would have too much, some would have reach it just right, and others would still be trying to achieve it, okay? So in terms of equity, we want to distribute those resources evenly so that we can actually access it to various points, so that we can all achieve what we're wanting to, which is the end goal of digital equity. I usually have a joke that, like, the left is Cheyenne and then the right is Navajo, but I don't know if that relates here in Canada. Yeah, Cheyenne women are tall, you know. Teslin? Okay, so what's the right? Atlin, okay. All right, so digital inclusion is the work we do in order to achieve digital equity. So, and that comes in a lot of different forms, through gaining affordable home broadband, appropriate devices, digital skills, tech support, and apps. And a great way of accessing it is to have someone help you. So at the Hoopa Valley Tribe, they have Abe, who's amazing, who does this, who helps people online find solutions. He actually started a program that helped folks get a POS system, because he found that when he went to, like, vendor events and things like that, the native vendors, the Hoopa vendors, would lose out on a lot of different things because they didn't have a POS system. So then he was able to find appropriate devices that they could use that worked on the broadband that was existing in order to give it to the end user. So it was really great. So if the internet was available to everyone in your community, what would still prevent people from consistently accessing the internet? No device, okay, yep.
MFA in our community.
What's up?
Multi-factor authentication stops most of them from getting on.
Okay, yeah.
Can't seem to figure that out.
Digital literacy.
I know you guys are getting specific, but yet, like, keep it a little simpler.
Cost?
Cost, yes, and what do you mean by cost?
If it's a cost per home, if it's not distributed to the community, then the more rural you get, the more expensive it seems to be.
Okay, yes, so broadband in general, right?
Yeah.
What's another way cost can be prohibitive or, like, be a barrier?
Can't afford the bill.
Can't afford the bill? Mm-hmm. That's still broadband. What's another way costs can be a barrier?
No electricity. We don't have money.
That's a different kind of barrier.
Back to devices, computers.
Devices, yes, exactly. So the last computer I bought was like $5,000. It was insane. I wanted the best. I know, I was like, but I wanted the best. So. Yeah. Oh, I shouldn't have said anything. Sorry. Anyway, so okay. So what's other ways?
Even if kids, or a lot of times kids have either phones or tablets, but certain stuff needs a desktop or like a laptop.
Yes, exactly.
Websites.
Thank you. So we're talking about, doing our taxes and doing, accessing government things and maybe DocuSign. Sometimes you can't do that on a tablet or on a smartphone. So you need, yes, a laptop or a desktop or something like that to connect, to have those different apps that, make it easier for people to do that. So yes. What's another one?
Knowledge of how to do it and confidence to do that.
Exactly.
Is
So,
information online?
yep. Oh, wait, hold on. Give me a sec. So yes, knowledge and skills, how to do that. So we talked about, accessing. So if you were to say, CJ was like, okay, so I need to do my taxes online. I'm like, okay, that's fine. What's stopping you? A computer. Okay, here's a computer. And then just leave him and like, he's good to go, that kind of thing, without actually showing him like, so, this is how you open it. This is where you put our web browser. Those different steps in order to actually completely serve what his need is definitely important. Those digital skills are definitely important. So what were you saying? I'm sorry.
Misinformation online, because nowadays, even when I was taking English in high school, there are whole courses and curriculums about teaching how to spot AI or misinformation online.
Mm-hmm.
So even if a kid knows how to access an article for doing research on a project,
Mm-hmm.
then there's a lot that has to go through to make sure that it's accurate and isn't misleading. in any
Great.
way.
That's a great summation of like AI, and yeah, that's great. And I think part of that is digital skills of just like, having that intuition, or even just like recognizing different symbols and things like that to indicate that they're AI. To the layperson who maybe is just getting on the internet right now, it can be very confusing of what is real and what isn't. Yes. Okay. So usually we go way more into this, but that's fine. Thank you for kind of giving those. But what we found, of course, is that key barriers kind of fits into 3 different things, which is broadband, which is unaffordable, unreliable service, digital redlining, which we've been kind of talking about a little bit, not digital redlining, but unreliable service in terms of like fixed wireless versus Starlink versus fiber, that kind of thing, of like what is best to kind of deploy into to our communities, because we want to have reliable and resilient broadband. And so I think that's part of your work as you all, working as technicians within the field, or even just working in broadband in general. Devices, of course, is maybe a little bit towards the end user. They can be unaffordable, outdated.
End user, sorry?
Yeah,
End user?
the end users, yeah, of like, in terms of who's solving these problems, sorry. So the devices, of course, can be unaffordable, can be outdated software, and the device isn't a good match. My example for this is that during COVID, one of the tribes that we were working with was a lot of the elders needed access to the internet, and they were getting on for the first time. But of course, it's COVID, you can't really kind of access people in person. So the tribe was like, oh, we have a great solution. We're gonna give every elder an Amazon Kindle Fire so that they can access Zoom and, stay in touch with their loved ones. So they distributed, said, you're welcome, great. And then of course, 2 years later, when, we were back in person and everything, we would have these elders come into digital skills classes with it still in the box, because they were like, didn't give them the skills, which I'll get to. But then what we also found was that they were like, okay, so this is a Kindle Fire. That means I can have access to free books, right? Free online books. Also, I need to get onto, Google Chrome. Can I check my taxes and things like that? If you ever had a Kindle Fire, it's a terrible device that does nothing, hardly anything. And of course, you have to pay for all these different apps. You don't get books for free. So it was huge misinformation. The elders were not happy, and then so they had to take it back, the tribe, and like reformat and reconfigure and give them devices that they actually could use. And of course, again, give them digital skills, which is the next one. So limited skills, and there's also fear and shame that is a huge barrier for a lot of folks. So for, say, instance, someone who's a mentor, like an elder, I'm gonna use the example of my dad, to come to me and say like, I don't know how to do this. I have a master's degree in business and things like that, but I'm getting online for the first time, right? There's this kind of humbling moment for some folks who kind of go through this fear and shame of not knowing what to do. I'm the same way though, because then I'll go to, my niece and nephew and be like, how do I navigate TikTok? Somebody sent me this link and I don't want to join TikTok, so anyway, so, and then of course inaccessible trainings as well. So it just doesn't exist in terms of trainings. And that can mean many things. You're too rural, you're way up here up north, or there's just these programs don't exist. So these are basically the elements to digital inclusion. So affordable high-speed internet, affordable and appropriate devices, access to digital skills, quality tech support, and online content designed to enable self-sufficiency, okay? Which is a new one for me, so I'm not gonna talk too much about that. So how we see this in tribal communities. So let's say this is our tribal nation right here. Yep, this is my res home right here, or it's your res home. What do you see in this photo? Services, what do you mean by that?
Well, you got the connectivity. There's Cherish's tower.
Yeah.
And there's the police office.
Yep, tribal police.
And there's a band office.
Mm-hmm.
A hospital.
Hospital. Mm-hmm.
You got a hangar for the Atlin Airport.
Sure. Yeah. What else could that be? Yeah, it could be the greenhouse. That's a new answer. Data center. That's a huge data center. Okay. Oh, that's your house. Yep. What's up? There's basketball court. Yes. There's gathering places.
Cloud cover?
Oh, that's not part of it, but yeah, sure. Yeah. Weather. What else is there? What's up? Tiny homes. And look how they're all the same. Tribal housing. We call them HUD homes, but yeah. Mm-hmm. Anything else? What do you think this is?
Helipad.
No, it's not. What's that?
Stargate, yeah.
What?
A Stargate portal.
Stargate portal. Well, I was going to say powwow grounds, but to each his own. Yeah. So, yeah, there you go. There's also electricity. Did people notice that? Mm-hmm.
Solar eclipse happening.
Yeah. So my question to you is, whose job is it to care about digital equity and to do digital inclusion work? Why do you say it's Cherish's job? But why do you say it's everyone's job?
Because we all use it, and we all have a role to play, particularly in network security.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. Why do you think I put the basketball court there? Children. Mm-hmm. And what does that imply?
The youth are the future.
Yes.
Play is important.
Yes. I'm getting off track a little bit, but what's up?
It's not just about being online, there's a balance.
Yeah, there's a balance. Yes. I was also going to say too that there's people look at this and say well, we need access to our children. So if they are carrying phones, yes, but also if they get hurt or things like that, in the places that we are, offline or whatever, there still needs to be connectivity in those places. So if people need to have access to it and everything, a huge issue, of course, in our communities is missing and murdered Indigenous women, right? So, and there's a gentleman, I think in Washington, who's working on this, of telling tribes that the reason why we should care about connectivity is to have more access in terms of having more wireless in our roads, in our gathering places, even when they're saying well, we do want to have, ceremony here and things like that, which is important. I mean, this is a argument of the reason why we pick these places is because they don't have connectivity. We want to be completely offline, which is valid and everything. But if someone gets hurt or someone needs emergency services, that's the other argument, part of it too, is to kind of have those available and ready in whatever space we're in. Okay, so tribal nations working towards digital equity, these are more specific. So of course it's everybody's job, but usually people say the ISP's job, which of course is Cherish. That's the first answer. Or they say the IT guy. So who's the IT guy, right? It's his job too. But actually, of course, it's everybody's job. The folks who are invited into our spaces are libraries, housing authorities, because they're building the infrastructure. So we want updated homes, health center, because of course people are getting more on telehealth and accessing health resources remotely. Workforce development to get jobs and things like that. We really need jobs that are remote too, because of course we want to stay in our communities but still have that access to economy and to like jobs that, you know, are still building us up and, you know, solving problems in the world, where we're not just, you know, stuck to a 50-mile radius of where we can find jobs. We want to have it branched out. Nonprofits, tribal government, and of the province and national government. Why should they care about access on our lands?
Why should, sorry, what is the question?
Why should the province or the national government care about the connectivity on our lands?
Yeah, they care a lot because right now we have a bunch of land guardians and we do a lot of like studies on the land of like the animals and scientific stuff. So they want our data. They want to do data sharing agreements, and they care about our traditional knowledge and the intrinsic knowledge that we have of our areas. So yeah, they really care because they're trying to keep statistics as well, and you know, keep tabs on different types of sicknesses that people might have, right? And it's just data collection, and knowledge is power. So the more data the government has, the more powerful they think they are. So it just makes me think about OCAP, you know, intellectual property, and how important it is that we protect that. Because my example that I've been using has been Trump. How Trump changed a bunch of place names right on the map. And like if we have our own data center and control our own data, then we can't, then the province or the national government can't touch our stuff. Like we could share with them with protocols, but you know, I don't want them to tamper with my data and change it.
Okay, that was complex. Wow, there's a lot of stuff in there. Yes, exactly. Yeah, no, well, she's teaching me actually. Yes, it's a complex problem in terms of, yes, they should be caring about how digital equity is deployed because of the data and information and things like that. It's their solution before this was to go around tribal lands, at least in the US. They said, we don't even want to deal with tribes. There's a lot of red tape that's probably involved. And so they would build fiber networks or wireless networks. Well, they can't really build around wireless networks, but fiber around tribal nations and not go through them. They're missing a key demographic, of course, if they are serving, you know, the state or the province. So we want to emphasize the fact that tribes should be working with all forms of government, even with Atlan. You know, you have the relationship there. And we already heard that from Cherish, that she's working with Atlan and ensuring that, by the way, this is for everyone. It's not just for the tribe. And see value in the fact of the services we're able to provide.
Yeah, so in BC, there's this organization. It's like, it was started by the First Nations Summit, and it's the BCFNDGI. BC First Nations Regional Information Governance Center. So they're talking about data and trying to create mechanisms for government to share their data with us, right? Because they have statistics that can help us.
Great. Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, I
So
didn't.
you're asking the question of why would province or national government care, and that's a really great example of data sharing and data equity. So like when Northwest Territories two summers ago we went under evacuation, we talked about the BC First Nations Data Governance Center. They are they're contracted out. They're funded by FNIGC. The group I'm working with within the nation is also funded by FNIGC, and then we leveraged OCAP to data share with Red Cross. So there were evacuees, multiple generation households that the grandparents were sent one way, parents sent one way, children sent another way, all over the country, and so there was no data sharing. People with addictions, people with vulnerabilities that were sent. So first of all, people dying is a big one, and then economic apartheid. So even if that appeal to the province or the government with this fiduciary kind of relationship, and saying like, well, currently by isolating communities, we're unable to participate in the digital economy. And then one more example here in Canada, but probably not as much in the States, might be friendship centers that do a great job of
Yeah.
Bridging the digital divide.
Yeah, thank you for saying that, because these are community anchor institutions. So what the term is in terms of like community centers, friendship centers, I think is the same thing. Yep, here, this center right here, exactly. Yeah, no, thanks. This is just not, of course, an all-inclusive list.
The government care, I mean, because there's the Indian Act and treaty.
Thank you. I was like, and then the most important part is the fact that there's a treaty obligation there. They have to, they're obligated to, yes.
Well, it's supposed to be a reciprocal relationship.
Absolutely. Okay. So of course, these are the solutions, and we kind of already gone through that. So under each solution, so broadband. So what is broadband? It's a transmission of wide bandwidth data over high-speed internet connection. So the Canadian Radio, Television and Telecommunications Commission defines high-speed internet as 50/10, okay? Which is 50 megabits per second for downloading, 10 megabits per second for uploading, okay? So in the US, when I saw this, I was like, holy, oh my gosh, because the minimum standard for the US is 100/10. It's twice as this.
Isn't it 100/20 now, or is it
100/20, sorry, thank you. Double this, thank you. So yeah, I was like, hold on, so what can you do over 50 and on 50/10?
Quite a bit.
Before this, the big telcos were fighting upgrading to this. The standard before this one was 5.1.
Right, yes.
Which is what about we're getting right now? Teuton hit?
Well, there's a broadband map, a national broadband map. So I looked up Atlan, and they have these different things. So 50/10 is the goal. They don't even measure beyond that, which I find is interesting. So they're just looking for the minimum. And where Atlan is, this is outdated, of course, but yeah, 5/1. So in the spectrum, then as you can see, the rest of all around Atlan, there's nothing there. And when I was looking up the 50/10, it's mainly in the cities, of course. But I was really surprised that this is like the grades, because yeah. 5/1.
2025.
Yeah.
So the thing that's interesting about that though is they give you a number. It's actually just a target. So ISPs can advertise that you can have up to 50 megs or up to 100 megs.
Totally.
But it doesn't actually define how much bandwidth you have dedicated for you, which is very, very little, right? They do this thing called oversubscription, which we learned about the other day. And they sell that same 50 megabits per second to 100 different people, thinking that you're all not going to use it at the same time.
That's right.
And so you ask the question, what could you do with that? And I mean, what we found on our ISP is if you actually have 100 megabits per second that works, like you actually have access to that much, you can do absolutely anything you want, and you won't even come close to using that much.
Yeah.
The ISPs now, because they don't actually give you anywhere near what you're actually paying for, they can keep advertising higher and higher levels of service because people are chasing actually a service that works. So Bell has 6 gigabits per second right now, only because the 3 gig, the 2 gig, the 1 gig, the fiber, none of that actually work with the shit, right? So if they just keep giving you terrible service, they can keep selling higher and higher levels as you chase it. But to answer your first question, 50 megabits per second, people, when you actually give it to them, don't use anywhere near that much.
Okay. All good points, yes. Well, I guess another question too is, because I was watching a video on this, of course, I'm still learning about Canada and everything, and we're at 90%, we're hitting 90% of Canada is 50/10, which, is it better to be at 90% and like meeting it, or should we push the bar even farther and like, go beyond that? And I don't really know what my question is, but at least for us in the US, and I know I shouldn't compare the two, but 100/10 is like 5 years away. We're not even close to it. The infrastructure is still being built. And if I were to look at Canada, I would be like, you guys are at 90% capacity. You guys are done, right? So does everyone feel that way, that connectivity is good and is where it should be?
Well, the AFN published their infrastructure gap report last year that said about 65% of homes on reserve land have access to 50 megabytes down, 10 megabytes upload at best. And so, and the numbers are likely lower than that, as I think many of us who are in the community know, that we're not getting reliable access and good speed as often as we'd like. It's changing in some communities, but that's well below the national average. And so, yeah.
At least in BC, it's changing super fast, right, Charles? Like the provincial government made it a strategic initiative, I think it was 2019 or 2020. We're all in Indigenous community, like connecting rural Indigenous communities, and usually that means rural communities. Usually that they put them together, but they don't mean it. But in my case, everyone I'm working with has fiber coming to the community over the last 4 years.
Yeah,
Like
it's
a
coming.
ton of work, and so usually it's lip service. In this case, almost everybody I work with, my cousin's an archaeologist, like Cherish, like everybody is working on fiber. So my cousin was mapping like sacred and sensitive spaces to see where they could run fiber. So there's just immediately a ton of work. Everybody knew as a professional was working on fiber, whether that's their gig or not. So I would say like this is changing super rapidly in BC because the government made it a strategic focus, but so I don't know about the rest of Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely. I mean, you know the story here at Atlin, and then up the Alaska Highway, like they're also connecting a bunch of our communities there as well, like Institute and East Lake, and you know Lower Post. Like they're going to bring the connection right up the highway and connect everybody, create some redundancy in the network. So big investments are being made right now, like tens of millions of dollars in northern BC.
That's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's coming. Like a lot of stuff through City West too. Like
Nice.
people just a little bit south of me went with a different ISP.
And they're using Starlink in the north a lot as well.
Nice.
You know,
Cool.
that's been a game changer.
Well, yeah, thanks for increasing my knowledge because I was like, something's missing here, but no, you guys are good. All right, so of course, broadband adoption is daily access to the internet at speeds and quality capacity necessary to accomplish the common tasks that we need within the digital skills necessary to participate online and on a personal device that's secure and convenient network. So for NDIA, we have a couple of resources. Of course, this is catered to US of 100 over 20. Are having speeds that meet a threshold of 100 over 20 with costs that have plans for underserved folks or underrepresented or who just need more access in terms of internet, because I think I spend $100 per month, 120 for my my high-speed internet, but folks need food and everything, and so we're trying to find plans that are at least $30 a month, which I don't know what that is in Canada, in Canadian dollars.
I was just thinking, we need food and everything. Yes, we do.
Oh, people are making the decision, do I get internet or do I get food?
Groceries,
Yeah, exactly, groceries. So what's...
It's about $1.40 right now, the exchange rate. So $1 US is $1.40 Canadian.
So it'd be 41 Canadian.
Okay, yeah. Is that pretty affordable, internet, for Canada?
Maximum monthly security. Yeah, $41 a month.
For, I don't know, 100...
120.
Well, no, it would be 50
That would,
over 10.
well, I think if you're in an urban environment, it depends where you are. I mean, some people are living on fixed incomes for $500 a month.
Yeah.
When that's 10% of your income towards internet. If you're getting 50-10 consistently and you're using it consistently for work
And to full capacity,
everything,
yeah.
it may be worth it, but that's still a lot of money.
I think that would be the cost of a discount carrier, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Like that's not Bell, not Telus. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on one. It's and it's I think 50 for less than this. 50.
I can tell you, there's no way you could deliver that service in a remote, very remote community.
No, yeah.
Chance.
Thank you for saying that, yeah. Okay, so this is just the point of this, is to kind of like find these different avenues of finding affordable, low-cost internet.
Weird question. I see in this set of recommendations, I was curious if you guys have any thoughts or feelings or research on when I think about like low-cost internet plan offerings. Oftentimes there's like a household income like cap, like if you're making under a certain amount.
Right.
And I was wondering if that's something you guys have talked about at all. Is like this should be available up to this, or at least for people making.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like ISP should consider folks who do have, limited income and things like that. For tribes, we've seen that it changes, not necessarily income. That is a factor, but they actually give access to elders too, either free to, I think it's $25 that we've seen per month for internet, just for elders. They're making that effort.
Can there be subsidies for people who need it?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so again, because that was something that I was thinking about, was how do we get people who are low income connected? So in Canada, there's a program called Connecting Families. So it allows what happens is we have social security is a little bit if you get maximum old age security or you get maximum child tax benefit, then you get a code from the federal government, and then you give that code to the ISP, and you can sign up for Connecting Families. So there's Connecting Families 15, which is 300 gigabytes for $10 a month. Connecting Families 15, again 300 gigabytes. Connecting Families 50, 400 gigabytes, $20 a month. So those
400 gigs?
400 gigs for $20
That's pretty
a
good.
month. Yeah, but again, those are people, you get a code from the government, you have to have maximum OAS, or maximum child tax benefit.
Yeah.
So when I hooked up my house, right, this is the spot that my mom's in. It's I've hooked up my mom's house, but I haven't had time to give her a device yet and help her with her digital literacy, because my mom just has a radio. She doesn't even have a phone. She doesn't have a car. So yeah, I think this is one program. But when I tried to hook her up, Northwest Health said we have 6 months, again, because the CRTC sets the rules. So the CRTC said, okay, free installations for fiber for the first 6 months. But then you have to pay for the service. And I needed to get my mom's hookup, and the code thing wasn't working. So I gotta dig into that. I gotta fix it for everybody. But right now I'm just paying regular costs for my mom's internet. So.
Well, the other thing that this is looking at doesn't say it on here too is the added fees and costs that they don't put in the plan. They advertise $30 a month, but then they don't say by the way, installation costs this much, deliveries, the router, exactly. So we're trying to make it more transparent in a sense with this. Okay, I am out of time. We're almost.
No, you can. Davida, please.
Keep going.
Keep going. It's 11 o'clock. Go to 11:15 or 11.
So 10 more minutes? Or?
Yeah. This is very good.
What time is it now?
It's 11:03.
Okay. Oops.
Yeah,
okay.
good.
So anyway, we have some other resources. Is a digital inclusion program manual. So if you're kind of we need these programs and things like that, where do we start? We have sort of a step-by-step guide, but they have best practices, recommendations, and guidance of how to start a digital inclusion program. We have budget, because that's a huge thing that people talk about. It's how do I budget for this, and how do I account for the things that I need? How do I hire people? I need job descriptions and things like that. All this has that, and if it doesn't have it, you can reach out to us and we'll give you those kind of resources. So the other solution, of course, is more appropriate devices. Knowing what to give folks depending on what their needs are. Knowing that a smartphone is portable, long battery, but it doesn't replace a laptop. A tablet has great accessibility, especially for elders or people who have disabilities, but they also have a long battery. But some of them, you need need cellular data plan for calls. So there's just understanding how these devices work. With a laptop, it's mandatory for jobs. It's a large storage, but it's the least affordable option. A lot of the folks that we work with, their computer is their work computer. So to access and to do taxes, they go into work and use their work computer, which is probably not the best way to put personal information on there, but that's the only way they can afford and go on the internet. So just, understanding that. And we talked to folks in Alaska, so probably, and talking about because we were giving them devices, you have a device budget, go buy laptops and, provide it to the community. When they went out to the community and asked them what kind of devices would be best for you, all of them said smartphones. Well, the majority of them said smartphones. They're I'd rather have a smartphone or a laptop. I don't use a laptop every day. I need a smartphone for different apps and things like that in terms of, navigating the Alaskan bush, that kind of thing. So we thought that was very interesting. So in terms of digital skills training, there's foundational digital skills that you need to consider. So like I said, it's not enough to hand someone a laptop and say, here you go, problem solved. You need to actually sit down with them. And a lot of the classes we have the first thing is open your laptop and turn it on. And so finding the power button, what is a right click versus, versus another click, how do I navigate even the menus? Is it intuitive for folks and things like that? So starting off with foundational and essential digital skills is definitely important. And I think this is from a resource in England, but they talk about, use available controls on a device, interact with device's home screen, and connect the device to a safe and secure Wi-Fi network too. And of course, ability to update and change password. All just, this is just 101. Here, some people are putting digital skills classes, like, we're going to learn about Google Suite. Here we go. This is the first class we're doing. It's like, it's way too advanced for a lot of folks. Okay, so a great practice here is actually this program called Digital Connect, DCI, which is the Gila River Indian community. They have digital skills classes that's called Bring Your Own Device. So they have it like every week or something like that, where people bring the device that they currently have and learn more about it, how to interact with it, what apps to use, what I'm curious about, things like that. There was this lady who came in one time and she was like, can you show me why my phone takes a picture every time I open it? And it's because they had a phone, button on the home screen. So, it's showing different things like that is just really helpful. It was such a relief when we were like, oh, you can just switch it out and change it. And she was like, I've had this phone for 3 years and no one has been able to show me that. So she has a lot of selfies. So they serve tribal members and reservation residents. And of course, a large portion is elders, but they're trying to bridge between youth, giving them the skills. They're actually building computers here and refurbishing them, and then also bringing the folks to the digital skills classes so that elders and youth can help each other and ask questions. And they're in a rural setting, so they actually rotate community centers. So for instance, they have seven districts, where they rotate these bring your own device events or digital skills classes so that people don't have to travel 50 miles or what is that?
75 kilometers.
75 kilometers to access something, So they're great. And my brother-in-law runs this program, but yeah.
Your brother-in-law is a great guy.
Yep. So if you ever want to learn more about him, he's definitely open to helping and providing resources and things like that. So they're awesome. And they're on Instagram and you should check it out. They're really great. Yes. So digital navigators are the folks who consistently provide holistic individual support through repeated interactions. So a great example is Pueblo of Jemez or JNet. So they utilize their native language of Towa to offer digital skills classes. So if you've ever been to a Pueblo, it's kind of like a closed community almost. During COVID, they completely closed off all of the Pueblos in New Mexico. They have that capacity and ability to do that. And it also allows for language immersion to flourish there. So Towa, when we talk to these folks and everything like that, they're talking to each other in Towa, and it's incredible. It's just mind-blowing because even in Navajo, we don't do that anymore. It's insane. So it's just really cool to see that. And they have words for technology and computer and Wi-Fi and things like that. It's really amazing. They also train their whole staff in digital inclusion. So even though you're a tech person, who's doing the IT work or going up on towers and things like that, each one of them is required to do these weekly classes and interact with tribal members and tribal residents and things like that to show them technology and get in touch with the end user. They have the Learn to Earn program, which is basically if you attend 3 classes, you get a free laptop. So, and actually your homework is to go home and play solitaire on your laptop. Their homework is pretty accessible, yeah. So there's a digital navigator model, which actually just got released in May. So if you're same thing, if you want to delve even deeper into digital inclusion and start a digital navigator program, this has a lot of different things. It has a skills assessment a follow-up survey, a baseline job description. The whole toolkit is actually encompassing of these things. So yes, we spent a lot of time on this, and it's half of it is tribal examples, and so please check it out. It's awesome. Yes. Oh, thanks. I'm not done yet, but okay. I'm really trying to wrap up. Sorry. So, so there's also Digital Inclusion Coalition. So a big part of this and why we have like affiliates and and why we're making these connections. So connections with Phil, connections with Cherish, Bill, everybody, is to gain more knowledge and to fill in those gaps of knowledge too. And so, and this aligns for different things, advocacy, alignment, and having a network of people. And we see that and we realize that. So a great example is the Inland Northwest Tribal Broadband Coalition. They're a coalition of Nez Perce, Coeur d'Alene, Spokane, Shoshone-Bannock, and Colville Tribe. So they've established a digital equity system, which is in the definitions page. You can go see what that means, which is driven by this committed group of folks who are talking to each other. They're solving problems within. Yes.
Wasn't she on my table?
Yes, Leslie. Yes, they're pushing me. They're telling me what to do. Yes, Leslie and Marceline are amazing, and Brody is like a genius. He's like incredible in terms of fiber build out. They have the Tribal Broadband Bootcamp people. They have a video that Brody and this other guy from Hoopa Valley, Spaggy, have a video on fiber. You should really go check that out. That's a little different than digital equity, but he's great too. So yeah, and then they collaborate and they share best practices and they're mentors to each other. Like they're incredible because Coeur d'Alene has had a network for 25, 30 years. Like they're beyond. Like they're done. They're working in digital inclusion and things like that. Shoshone-Bannock is a one-woman show. She's barely starting off. She's figuring out policies and like how do we work with people to bring broadband to Shoshone-Bannock.
Ground level.
Exactly, completely ground level. So it's so great that they're working with each other and figuring it out and advancing even more. So anyway, and then of course to reward folks, we have this program called 7-Star Communities, which actually has a database of different folks who are doing great digital equity work. So if you're trying to find examples, there's a whole database of like different things where they have events, programs, they have tribal leadership agendas of what it looks like to include digital inclusion within, government practices. So this is my baby. So please check it out, support. Yeah, it's great. And so of course, I'm gonna skip this, but this is a really great activity. It's gonna take too long though, but it's awesome. And I'll give you the slides and you can check it out. So what we were gonna do, but I don't have time, is in terms of digital equity plans, is talking about why it's important to strategically plan years ahead beyond, right? So why is it important for people to create a strategic plan that is specific to digital equity?
Are you asking us?
Yeah, sorry, this is my question to you. This might be my closing question, so.
To ensure that you're successful and organized.
The community knows best. It's
Yes.
Self-determination.
Yep, exactly.
Everyone's going to be different, yeah. Very unique for each situation.
Yep, exactly. Everyone's gonna be different.
So whatever you build, if you have the manual, then if anything happens to you, the next person behind you has a game plan.
Yep.
A guidebook.
Yep, exactly. So see this a lot in terms of tribal leadership. For Navajo, every 2 years there's someone new, and they're staggered depending on like the district. But when do your elections? How often are you?
3 years.
Every 3 years, right? Yeah. And does it take 3 years to build a network?
Ongoing project.
Yep, exactly. So having consistently and having people have that knowledge, and so that something that's passed today can still be in the works 10 years from now, no matter who's in leadership, right? But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is the answer, okay? It sets a plan for future funding for both digital equity and broadband too. You explore sustainability options that ensure citizens can afford connectivity and the tribe can be self-sufficient too. So if the federal funding is cut, like it is in the US right now, the tribes can pivot and like figure it out and have a backup plan. You understand and utilize how technology can affirm and foster culture, which is that culture match of like, why are we even doing this and how is it going to benefit positively our community? You identify resource and capacity gaps to close the digital divide. So although we do have data that the state and the province or whoever is giving us that they have, we also need to have our own data that we collect, that we go door to door and ask people about what devices you're using, how do you use the internet, is your internet affordable, what would you like to change about that, you know, kind of thing. And then finally, it's a practice of sovereignty, managing a nation's own policies and codes that control data, infrastructure, and networks too. Okay. So yeah, so this is why it's important. And Hawaii has one, which, oh sure, yes.
That's a very good picture.
So this is our Indigenous Digital Inclusion Working Group at the Net Inclusion Conference. And this digital equity ecosystem, yes, but just the diversity of folks who are in our group is like so cool. And Phil's missing, he should be in here. But yeah, so it's just like, it's insane because we have folks who from Hawaii as well as Alaska who are just excited about digital equity inclusion. They're still figuring it out. We all don't know enough. So, and I'm learning from them more so that, you know, I'm providing resources.
Can you introduce them to us?
Absolutely.
I saw that.
So, but I will tell you, and so I'm like, so my job is ending. Okay, federal funding's cut. I don't have a job after August, and all these programs I built are going away. So, including the Digital Inclusion Working Group. So you guys can come to the next one, which is August, first week of August.
It'll be like the 7th or something.
Yep. You're all invited to come and to be introduced to this great group of people, but that's our last meeting.
Wow.
Oh my God.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we need to get Davida a job.
Yes. Or someone needs to take it over or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Anybody that wants to move here, there's
yeah.
lots of room.
I'm not saying anybody here should do it, but yes, like Leslie has been asking me who's going to take it over. Yeah, there's a lot of people who are like, we can't miss these connections. You know, we can't not have this group. So we'll see what happens, but it'll continue on somehow.
It will.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna skip that, but Hawaii's cool. Yes. And then we were gonna do.
I mean, I'll just say that I've never seen that guide, and so for like being the native Hawaiians on the ground, I've never seen that.
So I know I'm over time, but this is the activity we were gonna do, and I apologize we didn't get to it. I got caught up in the Canada-US thing, so I apologize. But I encourage you guys to do this on your own, and I can leave the materials here. But basically, we want you to kind of, in a sense, look forward 5 years. And what do you see connectivity in your community beyond this work that we're doing today? So, meaning, what is the headline? Who are you featuring that could be cherished, probably? Who are you interviewing, fictional quotes and things like that, and have like some sort of imagery, because a lot of us are visual learners, of what that connectivity looks like. And of course, this is like reading and knowledge. We asked Hoopa to do one, and so this is a Hoopa Valley tribe. So it's called Native Times, and these are like the subheadings. So the world at your fingertips, Hoopa Valley Public Utilities leads the way with fiber technologies. And then beyond borders, connecting surrounding communities to reliable, affordable high-speed internet, digital literacy training, free training in your area, don't get left out or get left behind. And then something silly, which is neural implants, just a trend or a fad. Will they be here tomorrow? Stay connected, you know? But his explanation of it is that we're all like entering a business world. So we want to have, you know, that sort of business attire. And the river right here is like the river in their community that flows through it. And it's leading to the worldwide internet kind of thing.
They're so funny on their tagline on the bottom. It says Acorn Wireless, gigabit speeds for 100 megabyte prices. Acorn Wireless sets a precedence.
And they're absolutely setting a precedence. They're in a rural area and they're providing internet not just to Hoopa Valley, but to like to beyond, like all around the community, connecting them to major networks and things like that. And they have a huge task because similar to you all, they have trees. And like I said, they're starting off as a wireless. Yeah, they're solving tons of different problems there. But now they're doing a fiber build, which is so exciting. And hopefully they'll have a Tribal Broadband Bootcamp where we'll all be able to go and check out their new network too. But yes, here are the materials. I'm going to leave them here. Like, please feel free to, maybe if we have time later on, we can do that. But yeah, or I have to come back and we have to do the activity. So yes. But I think I'm going to end there. And there's another activity. But I was just in case like we needed any filler. But yes, so. But thanks, guys.